It might have been a surprise for some to hear this, but a Lubbock favorite who said recently he wants to be here for the rest of his life recently took a big first step in fulfilling that dream.
KCBD News Channel 11's Dylan Villa joins us now with what we're learning about Joey McGuire's new contract with Texas Tech. Dylan?
Yeah, Karen and Abner, if you know anything about Joey McGuire, he loves Texas Tech. And this contract, which will keep him here at least until January 2033, shows the university is committed to having him around for the long haul. Let's go over some of the basics first. The contract started at the beginning of this month. December 1st through January 31st is considered the first contract year due to the team participating in postseason action. The next contract year will then begin February 1st. McGuire will be earning $300,000 in base salary per contract year throughout this contract. He will then receive money labeled as rights fees for outside athletics-related income. Now, what that means is that Texas Tech will pay McGuire based on things that are not happening on the field, including income from uniform, apparel, and merchandise contracts. That amount will be $4 million during this first contract year. Remember, that's December 1st through January 31st, then increase significantly to $6.2 million in February, then will go up $100,000 every contract year after that. Now, there are plenty of incentives for McGuire based on the Texas Tech success on the field this season. This supplemental compensation is different for this season compared to the rest of the years on the contract. First off, for 2025, the total compensation cannot exceed $1 million. Winning 11 regular season games has earned Joey $200,000 already, and based on the contract's language that you're seeing there on your screen, Tech's appearance in the quarterfinals of the college football playoff will earn McGuire roughly $358,000 if the team doesn't advance any further. If they do make a national championship game appearance, McGuire will get that total guarantee of $1 million. Now, those incentives will change once the 2026 season starts. You're seeing this on your screen right now. A win in the Big 12 championship game, that's $350,000 going to McGuire. A win in a bowl game that's not in the college football playoff, $150,000. But if the team does make the playoff, McGuire will earn $150,000 for each win in the college football playoff, plus an additional $400,000 if Texas Tech wins the national championship. Now, Coach can also earn incentives if he wins the Big 12 Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year, or if a member of the team wins the Heisman Trophy at any time during this contract. In total, here's the big number. McGuire's contract without incentives comes out totaling $51.9 million over 7 years. McGuire was rewarded for his 4+ years of hard work so far, and this contract looks to keep building success here in Lubbock. Abner?
Thank you, Dylan.